that, then we're fine.
And plus, you always add the music in later anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
I do add the music in post.
How you again, Jeff?
How you doing, everyone? Thanks for joining us this week. We have some game news.
Oh yeah. So we started then. Is what you're saying.
Oh yeah. No. How's everybody doing? Hey, okay. Magic claps.
Hey everybody, welcome to Game News Live. Brought to you by NerdJunkies.com.
Woot! Yeah. Hey, so one thing that we didn't incorporate onto the show this week. Are we gonna showcase Mel's game deals?
Sure.
Because she does have a PlayStation Store Black Friday one that I think some people with PlayStations 4 and eventually 5, or if they were lucky enough to get 5, this is all gonna cross over for a majority of these titles. So if you want to go take a look at it, I put it on the chats for you guys to take a look at and take advantage of it now. And there you go. And that's.
Are you putting that in the YouTube chat?
Yeah, it should be on there now.
Okay.
Do you have the YouTube chat up?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. PlayStation Store Black Friday sales. PlayStation Store, yeah. See, and there's always a sale going on.
I don't know her. PS5, I don't know her. Oh man. Yeah. So how's everybody doing in the chats?
Soon, buddy. Soon.
Try to get a PS5.
He's trying.
Dude,
he's trying, and they are gone in seconds.
Every single corner of me purchasing something for technology or something like that, like if I want to get an Xbox Series S, if I want to get a PS5, if I want to get a damn processor or a freaking video card, everything is not worth it right now. Like, I can't get consoles, period. Nobody can get consoles. Yeah. But I can't even get decent graphic cards right now because of the sold out everywhere. Yeah. I can't get it from AMD. I can't get it from Nvidia. Nothing. And I have like a second streaming setup that I'm trying to work on, and I can't get anything. What's up, Chamo?
Chamo in the chats. What's up?
What up? No 5 or X. Oh.
Yeah. I'm scrolling through this Black Friday sale thing that they're doing on the PlayStation Store. Some of these are good deals, and a lot of these are deals that they do year round anyway that aren't necessarily Black Friday sale. So like Spider-Man Game of the Year is $20, and it's like that's usually on sale for $20 multiple times a year. So you would think for a Black Friday sale it would be like $15.
But I think the one thing here, like if we take a look at the games, is all of these prices that they're talking about are MSRP anyway. They are prices at release, not necessarily anything that's been adjusted for a long period of time. Yeah. So, I'm looking at Final Fantasy VII Remake Digital Deluxe Edition, $79.99. Discount is $52.79, and all of that is digital. It's like, is it really worth it? Are you really looking forward to it? Everything on here is
digital, by the way. Or just want to call this out. So like Doom Eternal is on here for $20. If you have Xbox Game Pass, it's included. You might want to check both, sides also.
And Grand Theft Auto is off for $5 out of their usual $19
and this is the PS4 version of GTA 5. This is not the definitive version, which is still coming out next year sometime.
Yeah. And why do they call it a definitive version if they know damn well it's just going to be the PC version, right? I mean, that's all that is.
Why are they still releasing GTA 5? The game came out 7 years ago.
Especially since it took them a long time for them to release GTA 5 to the PC, saying.
Right.
Like, I realize it's still making money, good for you guys, but where's GTA 6, okay? I beat GTA 5 7 years ago. I'm ready.
Damn it, Ben, I told you. Damn it, Ben, I told you I was busy.
It's like
counting his money.
So is that action? It's like, Jesus, Ben, I said I was busy. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, everyone. Go see it.
Okay. All right, let's get on to some game releases then. I think we only have one this week.
Game release.
Yes. And that's it.
Game release.
All right.
Actually released yesterday. So yes. So still new.
So Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, and we were talking about this in pre-show that it's just like what was it? The title that you were
Dynasty
talking
Warriors.
about? Dynasty Warriors. That's right.
So this is the next game in the Hyrule Warriors series. The first one came out a few years ago. It was on the 3DS and the Wii U, and I think the Switch got like a definitive version also. These are developed by Koei, who makes the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors series. And it's basically that, but in the Zelda universe. Right. So if you like those kind of games, which I do not, that's all this is. You're Link, you're another character. There's like a ton of playable characters, but you run around a field and you swing your sword and you take out like 20 dudes at once, whatever. Yogensha in the chat here. It's a fun game, but it runs like liquid ass. Yes, I've been hearing a lot of things about the new one, Age of Calamity, about how the Switch is just not powerful enough for this game.
What?
And it's like,
But it's is it a first party game? It's directly from Nintendo, right? Or is it still
Nintendo's publishing it, so it's considered a first party game, but Nintendo's not developing it. Kind of like what they did with like their Crypt of the Necrodancer or Zelda game, or like Star Fox Zero is technically a Nintendo game, but Platinum developed it.
Yeah, because if I know Nintendo, they were going to QA the crap out of their games.
You would think. So back in the Hyrule Warriors, the first one days, this was right around in there was the 3DS, and then they came out with the new 3DS, which was a little bit bigger and it was more powerful. If you didn't have a new 3DS, Hyrule Warriors was like 2 frames a second. It was like it was a disaster of a game. So that's kind of like what's going on right now. The game's there's so many things happening on screen at a time that the game just chugs, and it's like
it's almost like that Xbox 360 release, right? What was it, like 99 Nights or something like that? It was just like a whole bunch of units on screen.
It's the same type of game. Yeah.
But it was just like, even that, like that was one of Xbox 360's like arguments, is that it could handle it, right? But then you have this now, and we're already like, what, 10, 15 years later, and we're still looking at things chugging down and not being able to handle it. It's a handheld, but...
It's a hand... Yeah, it's... I love the Switch. I think it's a great console. It's clearly not the most powerful thing, but that's not necessarily why I like it. But if they're going to release a game exclusively for the Switch, a first-party Nintendo game,
right?
They better have this running like a dream. If not, where's that rumored, fabled Switch Pro that has been rumored for like the past 2 years? You know, like something with more power to be able to run this game efficiently.
Right.
But yeah, Age of Calamity, I know a lot of people who are playing it because there are like, I know a bunch of Nintendo fanboys who are just all over it. I am only interested in the story. I'm probably just going to YouTube the cutscenes because the gameplay on this is really boring. There is a demo available, by the way, if anybody ever does want to check this out. There's a free demo on the Switch, like on the eShop.
Just download it.
Like, download it, check it out. It's, from what I hear, it's quite a few hours of gameplay. Like you can get probably 3-4 hours of gameplay out of this demo, and that save file will carry over into the full game.
Don't you tempt me.
There's not a lot of games on Nintendo Switch that get demos, do they?
There's a lot, just not Nintendo demos.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like, there's tons of demos on the eShop or like free games and stuff. It's just Nintendo doesn't release a lot of demos for first-party games.
Yeah.
So
this one's for the chat. Is anyone interested or looking forward to playing the demo and see if that's something that you want to buy? Is Dynasty Warriors with Nintendo slapped on it something that still interests you, or is that no longer your bag, baby?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, I tried the demo. Didn't interest me, but we were talking about this in the pre-show here. The reason anybody would ever play this game is because if you played Breath of the Wild and you were kind of disappointed in the lack of story that game had, this game is supposed to fill in that story. So it was like all through Breath of the Wild when they were talking about the calamity and the war that happened 100 years ago, and then you're like, really, what happened? And they go, nah, I'm not going to tell you. This game is supposed to fill in that story. So I'm probably just going to wait until somebody YouTubes like Age of Calamity, the movie, and just watch that.
Yeah. Yogensha has it here is like, he likes Dynasty Warrior games, but bad performance is a big turnoff. I agree. Yeah. It takes you away from it all.
Yeah.
All right. So we have something for rumor control this week. I think people are going to be super interested on this one. But leaked Capcom documents point to Resident Evil 4 VR coming to Oculus headsets. Now, I'm interested in VR. I'm trying to get a VR headset, and I'm looking for that killer app that I just need to have, right? But then it seems like with Oculus or any other headset that you have, it's either a hit or miss on if it's on that platform or this platform or whatever. But if it's going to Oculus, if it's going to Oculus, does that mean that it's only Oculus? Does that mean like they might have it for like the HTC Vive
or the Index
or something like
They may decide to go both ways. They just might have it set for only Oculus at the moment.
Yeah.
So
this doesn't really surprise me though.
Yeah. From what I've heard, and go on. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't surprise me that Resident Evil games, the IP itself, is going on an entire, like, let's just make more money off of the original content and slap some brand new stuff on it. Or let's just remake it and do this and give you half of the game that the original one was, right? Because even all the remakes right now have been a short version of it. Kind of like how Final Fantasy VII is going a little bit more like, what is it, like episode type? Where you get like certain amounts of the game at certain releases.
Final Fantasy VII it's basically, or the remake, it's kind of part 1 of 3 of the original Final Fantasy game. So
I thought it was only 2. Didn't know it was going to be 3.
Well, no. So they're saying it's going to have a part 2, but I went through the remake. I have not played the original because I don't like turn-based games, but it's like, from what people are telling me who are big Final Fantasy nerds, they're telling me that where this game, where remake part 1 ends, you're only about a third of the way through the story. And I was like,
I guess that makes sense.
Weird, but okay.
Yeah, that is a little weird though.
Yeah.
I don't think
as far as
I don't think I like that kind of thing where you're like just expecting the entire game like Final Fantasy VII, but then you just get ripped. You know what I mean? It's just like you charge full price for this thing.
Look, it's Harry Potter Part 7, first part into the second part releases. You know,
gauntlet of whatever.
They took The Hobbit, which is a short story, and made 3 17-hour movies out of it. Come on, like,
now you're just squeezing it out.
Yeah, it's like
putting too much story into one little short story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like whatever. As far as a killer app, though, if that's what you're waiting on, from what I'm told, I have not played it, but I've seen some footage of it. I'm told Half-Life Alyx is amazing.
Yeah, I've heard only good things about that.
Ben has gone through it, and he has enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I also heard that it doesn't require like a huge beefy PC just to be able to play it. Like the settings are going to be almost identical no matter if you do it on low or maximum. So it's I think Digital Foundry did a video on it, and it was just like, yeah, we hit it on max and it looks almost the exact same thing as if it does on low. And I was like, all right, well, I guess is that exclusive only to
Index?
Yeah.
No, it can play on the Vive and Oculus, but it's obviously through Steam. So
yeah. If anybody on the live chats wants to recommend a headset, I am seriously looking for what would be the best choice at this point in time, or maybe I should hold off and wait for. I don't know, Facebook.
Yogincha has a point here, but because this is what we talked about a few weeks ago. Yogincha's saying, I wonder if the forced Facebook link will do any real damage to their sales. So keep that in mind if you're looking at any of the Oculus stuff. You're giving Facebook more access to your life at that point.
Yeah, at that point, it's just we're almost at the point of the Matrix where they're just going to jack into my brain. Just be done with it.
I mean, that would make things so much easier.
No lag.
We're just not there yet. Right. Yeah, no lag, bro. Let's do this. Frame rate's amazing.
So yeah, that's for rumor control. Resident Evil 4 VR coming to Oculus headsets. I'm sure it won't be an exclusive, or at least I hope it won't be.
So
they may make it for the PlayStation VR as well.
So Chuck, who you know, a buddy of ours here in Las Vegas, he has no problem playing horror games. Like, he's unlike myself, where I'm a giant wuss, I can't do it. But he was playing Resident Evil 7. And then he tried playing it on his PlayStation VR, and even he was like, I can't do this. Like, this is too intense. Like, I am scared to death of this game.
It's more immersive in VR.
Yeah. Yeah, so if they did Resident Evil 4 in VR, I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see. That was a great game anyway, but I'd be interested to see. It was more actiony than horror, so I think it would do well in VR.
Would you be able?
Resident Evil 7 was more creepy than action.
Would you put on the headset?
I'd put on the headset and play something nice and kid friendly.
Nintendogs or something equivalent to the Nintendo.
I'd be like, Clay, you know you have 2 dogs, right? I'd be like, it's a VR dog. Don't you remember when we were at E3 and you made me play Outlast in VR just so you could film it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was special.
That was painful, man. That hurt my soul, man.
Yeah.
Umbert's Game is saying only 2 options he recommends is the Vive and Index. He has Index controllers, which basically similar to like moving your fingers in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Not fully like a glove or anything, but it works pretty well. And the Vive works pretty good. They do not have the original Vive. He probably would recommend the Pro.
Oh, the one with the higher res.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The HTC Vive. It seems like that's where a lot of people are going if they want to do more than just like. I'm looking for something that also has possibility of leg capture, right? So like a full body capture.
I've never used an Index. I've used both an Oculus and a Vive, where the Vive actually it gave you the improvements of being able to do like those little whatever they call them, like stations around your room.
Base stations, lighthouses.
Yeah. So to where it'll track your movement like in a 3D space also, like just like sitting at a desk in VR.
Right.
Does the Index do that as well, or is it just okay?
They have base stations as well.
Okay. Well, that's cool then.
Interesting. All right, let's get on to the game news because we got I think like about 5 or 6 articles this week. This one I have not taken a look at, but I know that Clay hit me up earlier this week about DOSBox Pure, which I'm excited to try what the possibilities are, especially with like RetroArch and whatnot, to be able to play old school DOS games as an emulator on new hardware.
Yeah. So DOSBox has been around for a long time, right? It makes it so you can run old DOS software on a modern OS and you won't have any weird compatibility issues or anything like that. It's just like a DOS emulator, right?
Yeah.
The new version, DOSBox Pure, got announced, and basically the developers were saying, yeah, we're just making it compatible with more things, and it's now going to work on RetroArch. So if you're one of those people who have one of those like giant emulator stations where you just boot it up and here's like every emulator and every ROM and everything like that, DOSBox will now support that as well. So while you're scrolling your Matt S is in there and he's like ahem, because if you remember when you sold him that arcade cabinet, he turned it into like a colossal massive emulator arcade machine.
Good. It got a good use out of it.
Yeah, which is awesome. But so I don't know what front end you use, Matt, but it's like this is just
main.
Unless you already have a functional DOS system as a part of that, this new thing, DOSBox Pure, will add more DOS functionality into that.
That's so cool, though. But does it feel weird that we've come full circle and now we're emulating DOS? Does that feel weird?
My new $3,000 Alienware system can play DOS, bro.
He says, other way around, buddy. Yeah. I sold Joel. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this is at his like old house, like on the southwest side and stuff.
Wait, so the cabinet that we had, he had an entire emulated system on it before he gave it to me, or afterwards?
No. So he bought 2, I think.
Okay.
And then he kept 1 and he sold you 1. And then he says I still play Commander Keen, so that's cool. Yeah, this is I don't know what system you're using on that or anything, but it's basically just they're improving DOSBox, which I know people who have like just RetroArch like on their like living room TVs and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool system.
Right.
You just need the space to house all your emulators and games and whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, didn't you say you were gonna, whenever it releases, you're gonna try to download it and play like Wing Commander or something?
Yeah, dude. Wing Commander was the best. I mean, that was like the first real game that I played on my 486, and it played like crap. Like, it was framey, but that's all I had. I didn't even have a Nintendo back then. That's how poor, I guess you would put it, because the only thing I could afford was something that was gifted to me as a 486 computer, and we were playing Wing Commander. And I think it was just like the freeware version. But yeah, that was fun back then. So if I get to see Wing Commander again on my NVIDIA Shield or something like that with RetroArch loaded on it, I
was going to say, unless, and I'm just going to do a quick search real quick, unless it's part of GOG.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they do have compatible games.
Because GOG
right?
will like backwards compat everything.
Yeah.
Like if it's on GOG, it'll work on like a Windows 10, like no matter how old the game is. Which I love that they did that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, before some games didn't always work, but they've actually improved on that.
Right.
Wing Commander 1 and 2 for $6 on GOG.
Wow.
So you don't even need DOSBox. You could just play that mug right now.
Yeah, but I want to play it on my Shield. Because it's downstairs on the couch. I don't want to play it on here. It's like I'm gonna waste 320. I'm gonna waste 320 by 240 pixels on this giant widescreen. Please.
I don't know how the Shield works. Can you not stream GOG through the Shield?
Giant widescreen curved monitor, excuse me.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. So we had questions, right, about the Bethesda buyout from Microsoft. And a lot of questions, because it was just like, I think one of the first things that I saw was just like, so what does that mean for PlayStation? Right? Mm-hmm. So what does that mean for everything else? What does that mean for all the Skyrims in the future on your fridge?
Are you telling me I'm not going to get Skyrim on my PS7? Like,
come on, guys.
I mean, yeah, I know that game's like 10 years old, but come on.
Yeah. You know? So Microsoft wants future Bethesda games to be first or best on Xbox, says CFO. Like, of course you're going to want like the thing that you bought to work the best on your console. No duh. But at the same time, it's all like, I don't think it would benefit them financially to just cut that off for everyone, right?
By the way, awesome that you said no duh. That was like, wow, that was awesome. Okay. Duh. No duh, bros.
Why is this even an article? God.
No, yeah, this first or best thing, we don't know. Like, that could mean that all future Bethesda titles are timed exclusive. Cool. But the best thing, like, they wouldn't hamstring a game for the PS5, right? You know, like they wouldn't say, oh, it only runs in 720p or something like that. That's not going to happen. But does that just mean that they're going to put extra oomph into like the Series X or the PC versions to make it so like, oh yeah, these are optimized for 120 frames, where your PS5 version is 60? So like, we don't know what that means.
I don't see them going that far. What I do see happening is possibly the extra integrations that PS5 is trying to push out for their games. They're not even going to try. They're not going to do like the
cards that are on each game now, the cards or the feedback triggers and stuff like that.
Or even future DLC for those games, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. This is a very minimal cryptic statement that they said. And it's like, first, makes sense. Timed exclusive. You're going to say, hey, all Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be on Game Pass, and it'll be on Xbox and PC on day one, and PS5, it'll be out 6 months later. That completely makes sense, because they already do crap like that back and forth to each other.
Right.
So that could be it, but we don't know.
The only other thing I can think of is just skins and stuff that are just exclusive to the Xbox. Things
like the Dragonborn looks like a Master Chief now or something like that.
Master Chief makes it to Skyrim.
Master Chief, bro. Dude, bro. Halo.
Watch out for nades,
Halo,
bro.
Bros. Nades, bro. Sticky nades, bro.
I don't know if they say
Keep
that.
Skyrim out of Halo. No.
I got my Dragonborn with his plasma sword.
Instead of arrows, needler. I got a needler to the knee.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like a needle to the knee, bro.
Stupid.
By the way, this is generally what I think of whenever I think of Halo fans.
Yeah.
That's it. Dude, bro, Halo.
And you know,
Capture the flag, bro.
you only have
Red versus
to
blue.
you only have to replace Halo with COD and it's almost identical.
Exactly. just dude bros everywhere.
Dude bro.
Noob tubes, bro. Dude. Halo, bro. Getting the warthog, bro.
All right. So I think we were talking about this earlier. Microsoft is stating that they're about to, or they announced that they will most likely be a shortage until early 2021.
They're saying April. Like, Microsoft is basically saying, hey, we realize it's hard to get an Xbox Series X right now. Sorry. It's probably going to keep up this way until about April.
This can't be just a coincidence that almost everything out there right now is just hard to get as far as like cutting edge technology.
Well,
you can't
greedy people on eBay.
You can't. Well, I wonder how much of a percentage like that is, right? The first timers being able to get something. I wish it would be a lot easier for people to actually, or for companies to be able to just limit one per customer. But then I just see a whole bunch of bots just working around that, right? Just being able to hit it from different computers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But man, dude, like I've been looking for an Xbox Series S to maybe like, you know, spruce up the entertainment center and just be all like, okay, kids, here you go. Something for you guys to play on with that's not like an NVIDIA Shield that plays only like Android games or something like that. But for everything else, it's like I can't find a 3080. I can't find, even if I wanted to go AMD, I can't find a 6800 XT. I can't find anything like a decent quality. Even if I wanted to get a processor, the new AMD 5 or the 5 series that just came out, I can't find them. They're all sold out.
I know a guy who has a Series S that he's trying to get rid of because he got an X also.
Wait, what?
So if you want, yeah.
How do you get both?
He pre-ordered like a month ago, or like whenever they first went on pre-order, he pre-ordered the S, and then he lucked out and got an X. So he has both right now. And he was hitting me up the other day, and he was like, "Hey, do you know anybody who wants an S?" And I was like,
"How is it hard to find somebody that wants an S?" I'd be surprised if that sucker isn't out already.
I was gonna say if you want, I'll text him and be like, "Hey, bro, you still got that S? I got somebody who wants it."
I mean, text him while I smooth it over with the wifey now. Yeah.
You got to get that necklace in the mail. You know.
She's on the chat.
Error.
Mel just like shuts down.
Yeah, gotta go. Well.
But seriously, I'm afraid of her.
I mean,
yeah, dude.
I know, bro.
Matt says, the struggle is real right now because he's also trying to get some of the brand new stuff that's out there, and it's just so hard to find. And somehow for me, it seems kind of a coincidence that right now during the pandemic, all the stuff that you would normally get online on a 2-day shipping on Amazon is just like sold out, right? Mm-hmm. Is it because of the Chinese tariffs that you're also not getting a lot of things faster? Freaking NVIDIA has already stated that they're disappointed at the fact that they can't even produce 3080s as fast as possible to be able to meet the demand. And it's not just them, it's AMD as well. It just sucks because like we're all stuck at home wanting to at least save some sort of face of Christmas, and it's just like, nope, you can't have it. Sorry, you're gonna have to choose something lesser.
The fans want this stuff to play, and these bot scalpers are ruining it for everyone. So thank you, internet douchebags.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trap. Dark Zero says she said yes. I don't know. I gotta get it confirmed on paper. You're good. I got your back.
Can I get that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, but
Evan has a good point here. They can't even keep up with making toilet paper and paper towels.
Yep.
Yes, but can I play toilet paper? See, it's not needed that much. I can use my socks.
Anyway,
don't look into that.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's just move right on to the next one.
All right, this one I'm kind of confused on because I don't know what it has to do, what it has anything to do with Monster Cat. Can you explain this one to me, Clay? Like I'm five.
This story kind of came out earlier this week, and since then it has been kind of reverted. So this is kind of like, okay, so Monster Cat is a record label kind of company, like they own licenses for songs, and if you subscribe to them, it's like $5 a month or something like that. You can then use their licensed songs in your YouTube videos, your Twitch streams, whatever you want, and nobody's going to come after you.
Right.
It's like saying, I've prepaid for these licensed songs, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
They apparently went into a little partnership with Amazon and Twitch. And earlier this week, and like I said, they have rolled it back, but basically just for signing up to their $5 deal, instant Twitch affiliate status.
What?
So you bypass all requirements, pay to win. $5, you're now a Twitch affiliate. You can now get paid for your stream. And people lost it. Yeah, like the Twitch community lost their mind.
Do you know how hard it is to get affiliate on Twitch?
That's what I'm saying. Not partner level. Like this isn't like big bucks partner level. This is affiliate, which is still good though. It's like for anybody out there who wants to be a pro streamer and all that stuff, you're gonna start out, it's free. Like you're not gonna get any money off this thing until you get a nice following, and you have to have like X amount of followers per day, X amount per stream, so many streams a week, so many streams a month. And you get affiliate, and then you can start getting paid.
Yeah. Matt said it's not that hard. Well, it's not about whether or not it's like it's hard enough to be able to have a 9 to 5 and then come home and then having to have the viewership, the amount of subscribers and all that stuff. It's a constant battle uphill. Yeah. You know what I mean? For a regular person, for somebody who's just like, I don't go to school and I'm at home all the time and I just get paid big bucks because I make apps or something like that.
When I used to stream, I still have affiliate on my actual Twitch account. Basically, what they required was 200 followers, 3 average viewers, and I forgot what the third requirement was, but it took me a very long time to even just have 3 average followers.
Right.
Yeah.
It's stream.
Yeah. But even then, like it's basically the equivalent of pay to win on video games.
That's really what it is. So it has now since been rolled back, like as of either yesterday or 2 days ago. But basically, I don't know if they just got enough bad press on it, enough complaints. But basically, they took away the whole deal. So they still want you to pay the $5 for the subscription to Monster Cat so you can use their licensed songs. But then they say, oh, and you also still have to qualify for Twitch affiliate. So they basically just 180 and rolled it back.
So then I wonder, do we know anyone
you had to qualify
personally?
Before.
Yeah, do we know anyone personally that did get this offer and got all the way through? Like got the affiliate? I don't know
anybody who did that. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know anyone who did that. But it's yeah, I just know it blew up earlier this week and then it got rolled back and people were like, yeah, you should have not ever done that in the first place, you idiots, but whatever. Yeah. Matt has a thing in here. Devin Nash has a really good video on this about how you shouldn't do affiliate or partner. Interesting. I have not seen that. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what the purpose was on that. Maybe it's, I don't know, like getting Twitch affiliate and partner stuff. It's great if you are a quarantine person who doesn't have a job and can't get a job for some unknown, like it's like you just can't find one, then Twitch is a way to get paid for sitting at home. But it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of networking, a lot of marketing. It's a lot of like, this is a full-time job. It's not just, I'm going to play video games for a half hour and people are going to pay me. And it's like, no, you're going to play video games for 50, 60 hours a week and social media like crazy and try to get your brand out there. And hopefully you'll get enough people to help you get affiliate and then eventually partner.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the uptick in streamers all of a sudden after the pandemic. And if you want proof of all that, just go take a look at buying quality Logitech webcams and see what you find out there, because they are all overpriced.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one, PlayStation boss won't say if the next God of War will be PS4 too. At that point, I just don't.
Very strange.
I just don't see something like a AAA game like this coming out anytime soon to the point where PS4 is still relevant. You know what I mean?
Okay. So God of War Ragnarok, which is going to be the next one. This is a first-party Sony game. Sony is still... They're still in this mindset of like 20 years ago where they need really good first-party games in order to sell consoles.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they release all these great games, which they're great. Like God of War, the first one from 2018 was an awesome game. Like that's the reason they do this though is just to sell consoles. So them being very cryptic about this and saying we have nothing to announce at this time kind of thing, that kind of points to the fact that it might not even release on the PS4 because they want to sell you a PS5.
Right.
Like this is their entire scheme right here. Is they're saying you should be buying a PS5. Like, so we probably won't sell it on the PS4 then. But the PS4 has such a huge consumer base. It would be, I mean, they would still like Sony makes all of their money off video game licensing.
Right.
Like video game licenses sell like that's what makes Sony all their money. It's not the console. The PS5 only makes Sony like $5, but the games, the licensing on the games is what actually makes their money. So they would still, it would still be good for them to keep this on the PS4. But maybe the game is just going to be so crazy and over the top and big and fancy and everything like that, and that it's only going to be functioning on the PS5.
Well, there's just so much you can do between PS4 and PS5 or just that generation of graphics that you know damn well for PS5 they're trying to tout the fact that it could do so many things, right? For PS4, load times are already a negative, right? You're still having to deal with a load time that you probably cut into a fraction on a PS5. But then graphics wise, they need something to catch your attention and be like, I need a PS5 for this. I need it.
There's not, like currently the load times are really the big difference makers in the two.
Right.
So like if you're playing like Spider-Man or Miles Morales or something like that, you can tell there's absolutely a visual difference in the two games. It's just, it's level of detail mainly, like more reflections, more shadows.
Well, I just don't think you're going to see
the leaves on the tree.
I don't think you're going to see a lot of difference between the PS4 and the PS5 until way later when people have gotten used to developing for the games to where they can squeeze out the very edge of consoles, right?
Absolutely. Like right now, the point I was making is you can see the difference in the games. So like Spider-Man, it looks way better on the PS5 than it does on the PS4. The frame rates are faster. The load times are what you're buying right now.
Right.
The load times are so good that that's what you're paying for. But yeah, no, like Ghost of Tsushima is probably the best looking game on the PS4. It looks outstanding, and it came out 6 years after the PS4 launched. Like they at this point, Sucker Punch learned all the little nuances of the PS4, and they created a game that looks amazing and it loads super fast, and it just has an awesome production value. So 6 years from now, whenever GTA 6 might be coming out, maybe then we'll start to really see what people can squeeze out of the PS5 and the Series X and stuff like that. But for right now, it's just fast load times. Like even if God of War Ragnarok comes out on the PS4, you're not going to be missing out. You're just going to want that 5-second load time, not a minute. And
the big attraction about any God of War is just the story. The story is the main attraction there, I think.
Oh yeah,
what I mean?
Absolutely. The gameplay is solid in God of War. It always has been. Like even back in the PlayStation 2 days, it's solid, and they revamped it with this one. So the camera's behind Kratos now. It's not like an overhead or anything like that. It's good. The gameplay is good, but I don't know. For me personally, I was all curious just on the story, just to be like, why is Kratos in the North now with Vikings and the Norse gods and all that crap? Like, what's going on? I got the story out of it. And it was a fun game. The gameplay was rock solid. That was a really good game. It's just, I was more invested in the story and the setting and everything like that.
Especially like it being a single player game. I could see where COD would have no visual difference except for like ray tracing or whatever on a PS5 version to a PS4 version. That's it.
True. Modern Warfare from last year, I played it on the PS4. That's a beautiful game. Like even console guy here, that was a stunning game.
Yeah, it looks amazing. You can
Yeah,
tell where the mocap has just come to a level of, in some scenes of Modern Warfare, you almost get to that. Is this real or is this because the lighting is just done so well, the motion capture is done so well.
The lighting and those, it sucks to say this because you're hindering the scene in general, but those like night vision levels, like when you're going through that house, it was like, dude, this could be real. Because you weren't paying attention to all the nuances of a video game scene. It was just, you were like, it was green and shades of black. But even that, you were just like, holy crap, dude, this looks like real life.
Right.
Like,
there was a time this is going back to like the early or late 90s when the Dreamcast came out. I was at Costco and I was at Costco with my folks, and I always just stick around to the electronics because that's who I was, and they just went out and shopped and whatever. Kind of like when you go to Sears back in the day and you were just like, all right, Mom, go ahead.
Video games are upstairs. I'll be up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in the day, there was the Sega Dreamcast hooked up to a large TV, right? And I don't know if anybody remembers like the launch title. I think it was NFL 2K or something like that, right? It was 2K games. It was just a football game back then.
Yeah, because it came out in '99, so that would have been like NFL 2K. Yeah.
Right. So there was this older gentleman that came by as I was watching the gameplay because it was on demo mode. It was just like AI versus AI football game, and the guy literally. And I remember when we finally hit this point in like graphics where he said, "I didn't know there was a game on today."
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, this guy doesn't even know that this is like a Dreamcast, right? Because we got into that point where like reflections on helmets, several hundred, like you can tell at some point in time where faces were recognizable to the actual players that were wearing that jersey. But then now we're at the level here where we're just looking at like Modern Warfare here, and it's just like I have a hard time even myself knowing what games look like to distinguish between reality, some sort of video footage versus something that is literally being rendered on the box right now. And that's a console.
I remember quite a few times in my life where looking at like the next step up in video games and like you go, wow, like video games have hit their peak. Like they will never look better than this.
I think,
and it's like, yeah, that game was 20 years ago, and it still looks great. But like, if I were to look at that now, I'd be like,
it's trash.
Yeah, quite a few instances in my life of that happening, where you're just so blown away by a game's graphics that you're like, I think we're at the peak. I think this is it, and then it's like, nope, that was 15 years ago, bro.
The uncanny valley is what they kept on
Dark Zero has a comment in the chat. How big is Call of Duty now? I'm going to say 17 terabytes. I think on the last decade. So
takes me 30 minutes to load. I go grab some coffee.
Yeah. I had to buy my second PC just to share the hard drive space and all the power on it.
Yeah, they keep grabbing it off a network drive.
Yeah, I've got like a whole SAN set up just for Warzone.
Dude, what were they thinking? I don't get it.
I have no idea.
Because it's the same map.
How is it that big?
It's the same map every time. We're not talking about multiple maps. We're not talking. I mean, I understand the size of it, but still, you're reusing assets. So I don't understand what's wrong with whatever. Yeah. I'm not a game developer, but maybe if they explained it to me, I'd probably feel stupid. But all right, let's go on to.
Sorry, Matt is saying like wait till they start integrating deepfake tech for characters.
Just start changing everybody into everybody else's face.
Deep
fake your face onto like, so like instead of Captain Price, it's like you.
Have you seen the deep fake Spider-Mans where they put Tobey Maguire, they put Kirsten Dunst or whatever as the characters in the game? I was all like, damn, that's not bad. Why can't we get this done?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. That was I thought that was really cool, and then it instantly made me want that for the new Spider-Man, like on the PS5, where they changed the face of Peter Parker, and I was like, I don't care who this new guy is, okay? Like,
did we ever get an answer why that happened?
So supposedly yes, we did. So when Insomniac was kind of touching up the PS4 version to make the PS5 version, they realized with all the new features and everything, they could do much more with facial animation.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever kit they're using for like the model of facial animations, like where they program smiles and expressions and things like that.
Right.
Apparently, the former actor, like not the voice guy, but the body actor who played Peter Parker,
The scan.
his face was basically incompatible with that. So instead of
But then, okay,
touching up every animation for the entire game, they found another actor whose face worked like great with it.
Okay,
so they
fine.
were like, this guy's face works better with our tech, so we're going to use that.
Do you see a difference besides it being somebody else's face? That you get more emotion out of it? That you get more...
Here's the problem. Have you seen the side-by-side picture of like PS4 Peter Parker to PS5 Peter Parker?
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not
the
that
new guy, I'm sure he's a great actor, whatever. It's like I don't know who he is, but it's like Peter Parker in this game, he's like in his like mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
He's not your friendly neighborhood teenage, 16-year-old Spider-Man. He's like in his 20s. He's like an adult. And there's like storylines in that game of him like sleeping with women, and he possibly has a kid and all this crazy stuff. And you're like, so yeah, he's like an adult now. And this new actor looks really young.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to get like whatchamacallit,
like Tom Holland.
Yeah, like they're just trying to like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's like the new guy, I'm sure he does a great job and everything, but he looks too young for that Peter Parker. And that's the problem.
I mean, I don't know, chats. You can tell me. It's on the screen right now. You can tell me.
Yeah, the one on the left looks more age appropriate versus the one on the right, which looks like a high school teenager.
I'll give the age appropriateness, but then when you look at it and then you try to decide which one would pass off more real to you, that's a real person, which one would give you that idea? The left one or the right one? Because I could tell you right now, even for me, something in the eyes just doesn't look right, but it could just be a placebo effect. I don't know.
But even the PS4 Peter Parker on the left has more, like, he has wrinkles. He has more like definition going on in his face right now.
The guy on the right just looks washed out by the light.
He looks washed out, and like I said, he looks like he's like a high school kid, which if that was the Peter Parker they were going for, that makes sense, but it's not.
Right. Give him a little stubble. Don't make him look like Shawn Mendes. Things like that.
Give him a drinking problem. Give him.
He has a cataract somewhere.
It's like something. It's like it's just I don't know.
God, the left seen some shit.
I haven't played it. Yeah, exactly. I haven't played it yet. I went through it on the PS4, loved it. It's my favorite game of 2018. I have not played the PS5 version yet, so I don't know. If Sony will sell me the game and not make it $70 for a game I already own, then I'll probably play it. But they want to hide that game behind $70, and I'm not going to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that Spider-Man, regardless of whatever platform that you put it on, looks amazing. I was watching videos of it and I was just like, I don't even care. Like if you're playing it on PS4, it just looks awesome.
Yeah.
But,
PS4, like, yeah. I had an original PS4, not even a Pro. The game looks amazing. You see what Evan's putting here on the chat?
Yeah.
The one on the left looks like he's been through some tough times and does a line of coke. The one on the right looks like he has an OnlyFans.
Yeah, I can believe that.
All right, let's move on to the last last article.
I'm going to post it again.
Yeah. So, Game Awards 2020. Is this relevant still? Are we still following this?
Look, the Game Awards. Look, okay.
Defend it. Go.
Joe, we're going to talk some history here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, all we had for the longest, so every gaming magazine. This is like, we're going to go back in time, like back 80s, 90s, early 2000s, back when gaming magazines were a thing. Everyone had their own game of the year, right? Then all those magazines either got shut down or they became websites. And those websites had their own game of the years, but there were still like 800 different game of the year.
Right.
And then Spike TV had their video game awards. Remember those embarrassing ass things where it was like just find a reason for some B-level celebrity to show up and be like, I
Mhm.
like Halo.
Yeah.
It's
it always felt like a show long promo for video games. It wasn't awards. It was like, and here are the nominees for this. By the way, you can get this exclusive on GameStop and all this other stuff. And I was just like, why are you advertising to me? Tell me why the game is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, by the way, I put the Polygon link in here because they actually have it neatly listed with like all their nominees and everything like that. If you go to the actual Game Awards website where you can vote, they do take the fans' votes into account. It's a little bit. It's like the percentage. It's like they have their own panel of people like across the game industry who actually do the votes, and then they also take into account fan votes at the same time. So I encourage everybody to check out the official link and do a vote. But the Polygon link is just it's structured better. But when the Game Awards came out like 3 years ago, and so this is the one that Jeff Keighley, if you watch any video game footage of anything ever, you'll probably see
he's somewhere around there in the background, just like
he's usually there. Jeff Keighley is a longtime video game journalist. He has been all over the place. He's been doing this for like 20 years. This is his show. He produces it. He does everything. So this is basically his reason for making a ton of money while doing video game stuff. So good for him.
Wasn't that his first year doing it was just like a big, huge like Kojima fan, like love scene.
Him and Kojima are like BFFs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The first year was when he was calling out Konami for basically treating Kojima like crap, and that's why Kojima couldn't be there to accept his awards for like Phantom Pain and all that stuff.
So lame.
So this is currently the most reputable way our people have of acknowledging some kind of video game award.
Okay, fine.
Because it could be worse.
So you're saying the video game awards is something.
At least it's something. At least Keighley's doing something, and it's not Spike TV with their like
advertisement partnerships.
Like, why are we doing this? At least it's not that again.
So we can hold some sort of like respect to some of these nominees that they're putting here, because for the Game of the Years they're showing off as like Animal Crossing New Horizon, Doom Eternal. I'm kind of surprised it's up here. I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that it's like a bad game. I love Doom Eternal. Do I think it's Game of the Year? No, not for me.
So I haven't played it, but I did play Doom 2016 and that game sucked. So I'm just going to pass that along to Eternal and say that sucked also.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I did think Doom Eternal and actually Final Fantasy VII Remake. I thought that it was a very good game, but it's not Game of the Year quality. Like,
it just seems like Doom Eternal and Final Fantasy would be the two titles that are banking off of nostalgia, right? I know the name of that game. I know what that is. It's got to have Game of the Year. It was Game of the Year back then. Blah, blah, blah.
Last of Us Part 2, I'd put in the same boat. I have not played Part 2. I know a ton of people who went through it, and they all said Part 1 was better. So it's like, 1 is on every Game of the Year list. It's on, like, PlayStation did a survey for Game of the Decade, and Last of Us Part 1 won it.
Yeah, I think...
It was like... Yeah.
I think Andre was the one who told me, like, Hades, he believes that Hades is going to be the one that wins this year.
I've heard from a lot of...
That's the first time I've heard of that game. So I'm probably not the benchmark for that kind of stuff, but apparently
Hades
that game's great.
Hades is really good. I know I've seen a lot of like, YouTube people and, like content creators and, influencers and crap like that who all said Hades is their game of the year. So it has a huge push behind it. Personal opinion, Ghost of Tsushima. When I played that in July, I said, this is game of the year. Like, this game is outstanding. This should win everything. But
dude, it's still getting a lot of like coverage too. It's not like dying off as quickly as most games do nowadays. But like Final Fantasy was a thing for like about 3 weeks, and then I never heard from it again.
It was good. It's not a bad game. It's just, it wasn't 10 out of 10. It was like 7 out of 10.
But doesn't Ghost of Tsushima also have a multiplayer aspect to it?
It does. They released that last month, I believe, or 2 months ago. It was they put a 4-player / 2-player multiplayer mode into it. So there's a story. There's a 2-player story mode multiplayer, which is really fun, and then there's a 4-player kind of like a horde mode. Like if you've played like the Gears multiplayer, like horde mode, it's kind of like that where you just face like waves of enemies. They're both fun, you know. When I said this was game of the year, it was even before the multiplayer hit, and it was still just an amazing single player game.
So I think it's a pretty broad statement or a pretty broad title to say best game direction. Are they talking about just being like a new way of playing something, or just
so if
game
you go
type?
to the actual Game Awards page, they actually try to like translate that, like what that means. Hold on, I've got a splash screen here. Okay. Thank you, Flash site. All right, it's not 1999 anymore. All right. Okay.
Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, I'm going to the website right
now. Best game direction awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Again, this would just go to Ghost of Tsushima. I think any category that game is nominated for, it should win. But yeah, game of the year, I would say this is either going to go to Hades or Last of Us Part 2, just knowing how popular both those games are. I wouldn't be surprised if either of those won it.
You don't think Ghost will get it?
I don't think so. I think enough people love it, but then Last of Us has such a fan base behind it that it would go there, or Hades is going to creep in as like the new small game, that took everybody by storm.
From what I heard, The Last of Us Part 2 had a lot of controversy as well, so I'm not sure if that was due to the story or the gameplay, or maybe just concepts that were just too much for some people to handle.
Okay, so I'm not going to spoil anything. I know what happens in The Last of Us Part 2, but there is a scene near the first 2 hours of the game that takes place, and it angered just about everybody in the world. And because of that, everybody was like, this game sucks. Fuck this game. Screw Last of Us Part 2. I'm done. Whatever.
Does this have something to do with somebody who shares the same first name as I do?
Maybe.
Well, crap.
Moving along.
Yeah.
So...
Spoiler alert!
So, but it's... Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Last of Us or Hades took that.
Dude, Final Fantasy is on here a lot.
Final Fantasy is known, so like it was under Best Music or Best Soundtrack or whatever it was. Final Fantasy games are known for their soundtracks. Like the soundtracks in Final Fantasy games are amazing. They all are. This is basically a remade or like a remixed soundtrack from the original Final Fantasy. So if you've ever played Final Fantasy VII, then you know exactly what to get out of this. It's a great soundtrack, but to me, because it's just another one of the same, I'd be like, no, pass.
Dude, and even like best score in music, Doom Eternal, Mick Gordon is back, but yet they kind of screwed him over on the tracks for Doom Eternal in the very beginning. I think there was some sort of like some video about this where they changed up his tracks and modified them for the game, and I was just like, wait a second, isn't that the whole no-no about doing this to the games?
And they basically did it without his knowledge.
Yeah.
Or say so. Yeah.
So somebody resampled his stuff and then just put it on the game. It's like, yeah, he made it. It's like, that's not mine.
Yeah.
that's pretty crappy.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, Hades is all over this. It's really good. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I have not played that. I played the first one, and I hear Will of the Wisps is awesome. Haven't played yet. I hear good things.
This one's interesting, though. Best performance is the actual mocap actors for these video games. And I didn't know who Nadji Jeter was for Miles Morales, but that mocap is pretty impressive. Again, going into Uncanny Valley.
Yeah. If it's the same actor that they got for Spider-Man 2018, then yeah, this kid is capable of it. He was awesome in Spider-Man. I have no doubt he'll be amazing in this. I am waiting on a buddy of mine to be done with Miles Morales so I can borrow his copy. I'm super excited to play that game.
I never give it back.
I mean, if that happens, then oops.
and then the other one that brought some attention to me was Best Ongoing. Wait a second. So you're saying the game that just has a long-standing, continuous free-to-play game that people are just going to play because they don't have any other games to play, or they're just too poor to play games, is Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Apex Legends. I think out of all these games, Destiny 2 and No Man's Sky were the only ones that you actually had to pay something at some point in time. I don't think No Man's Sky has gone free to play.
It's not free. No.
Okay.
No Man's Sky is not free to play, but for the update they did to actually make it a decent game, not a terrible game, that was a free update.
So then Destiny 2
that game, like No Man's Sky was hot trash when it came out. It was a pointless game. And then Hello Games basically said, "Oh yeah, you're right. We actually didn't do anything." So they patched it for free and made it like a fun game for once.
One of the most controversial games of that year.
It was so dumb.
Yep.
It was so there was nothing to do. It was like you just go
too
fly
many
around
broken promises and nothing to pay for it.
But then you have Star Citizen, who's been doing this for a decade, and it's just like nobody's up in arms about that one, yet they're making billions.
That game has funded like $22 bajillion, and it's not even released yet.
It's not. It's still.
I haven't seen anything for that.
Nope.
Yeah.
All they keep releasing is new freaking ships, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just like what
do you remember the South Park Game of Thrones episodes where they kept bugging George R.R. Martin about when the dragons are coming? It's like, no, they're coming. Don't worry about it. It's like, when is Star Citizen going to release? And they were like, don't worry about that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We just need more money to develop it. And
this
it's like,
game,
I've already given you $20 million. Just do it.
This game has literally been on like the baking, like in the stove baking for more than I can't even remember like how long it's been.
The Kickstarter for this game was what, like 10 years ago or something like that?
But here's the thing, like the only way that this is still going on is because people keep on donating money for it and buying
7
ships.
Years ago.
Like, come on, people. Like, if you stop giving them money, they're going to have to freaking do something.
Yeah. It was, yes. The Kickstarter for Star Citizen was 7 years ago. And it's still in development with early access and all that crap. And it's like, dude, just...
And the technology has changed two or threefold since then. Since the first version. I still play it. And it's just like, I just have to always worry about the bugs.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
I don't know what's going on with that game.
So that's pretty much the Game Awards. I don't know who you're rooting for. What's your favorite game on this list? What you're hoping wins the Game Awards? Or if you even care about the opinions.
There's two things on this entire Game Awards list. One, I want Ghost of Tsushima to win everything it possibly can. And the other one is, I'm scrolling through the list right now. Where is it?
Sucker Punch is Sony Interactive, right?
Yes.
They are owned by them now.
They are owned by them, yeah. Where was the other one? Best action game. Streets of Rage 4 is on the list. And I'm like, I would put, votes behind that game any way possible.
Why? Because it's retro and you're a fanboy about it, or
because the game is fun as hell, and that game should have been on the best soundtrack list also, because the soundtrack in that game is amazing. But yeah, no, Streets of Rage 4 is an awesome game, super fun. I think that and Ghost of Tsushima should clean up everything they can, but it's probably not going to happen because Last of Us and Hades are going to sweep everything.
Gotcha.
But oh well.
All right. Well, that's the game news for this week. That was pretty fun. I agree. That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun, but I don't know if I'm going to follow the Game Awards. I'll probably hear it after the fact. I'm probably not going to. If anything,
it's going to be the premiere of like 1,000 new game trailers. Yeah. So I usually keep it on just for that, to see like here's
what gets
Resident Evil
announced.
4 remake in VR, being announced at the, announced first at the Game Awards. So Jeff Keighley can sit there and go like, I helped debut this and give me money. It's
You gotta
nothing
get
against
him up.
Jeff Keighley. Nothing against Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, the guy's been in the industry for quite a while, so
He has. And yeah, it's good on him.
Yeah.
For giving us some kind of award show.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, should we plug the show up?
Clay, yes.
Clay, you want to take that on?
Oh, like all the normal spiel?
Let's see if you got it down at this point.
Be like, okay, hold on, here we go. Thanks, everybody, for watching Game News Live, brought to you by NerdJunkies.com. If you want to see more, please visit NerdJunkies.com or especially go to NerdJunkies.com/social for all of our social media links. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, join our Discord server, and maybe we have a Facebook or a Friendster or any of those things that your grandparents use too. All right.
Such a dick. Well, that was pretty good. All right, so let's get out of here. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
All right, let's get out of here. I'm going to edit this episode, and we'll talk to you next week. Same time, 12 noon Pacific, Saturdays, and 3 p.m. Eastern? Yeah,
by the
Eastern.
Way, GSK, one of our old fans from the previous Nerd Junkies days, is still hitting me up on Xbox Live like,
when we going to play Gears, bro?
Guys, oh, no, he's like, I need you guys to do your show at, like, later in the day.
What?
I can't always be there.
Well, that's why there's recordings. I mean,
I'm just saying, he wants to be here live.
Oh,
I'm like,
well,
all right,
then,
you know what, man? I'll bring it up, fool. I'll bring it up, okay?
Well, then quit your job.
I mean,
come on,
man. I mean, come on. Priorities.
We try to make it easier for everybody here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Anybody going to be streaming later on today or playing something? Clay, what are you playing?
I am currently playing 2 games. I'm playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I'm playing the new, which is not really new, came out early this year, Shantae and the Seven Sirens.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
I'm currently So Shantae, it's a series. This is like the 5th one in the series. It came out earlier this year. It's on everything. Like the whole Shantae series. It's on, I think most of them are on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like platformer, Metroidvania kind of stuff. Really fun series. Love it. The new one came out. I'm just now getting to playing it. And I'm playing Yakuza Like a Dragon and suffering through turn-based RPGs.
Gotcha.
It hurts me.
Mel, what are you playing?
Basically playing a mod for Minecraft, RL Craft and stuff like that. It's basically similar to Dungeons and Dragons, if you will.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
cool.
I'm probably just playing Among Us. I'm probably just going to be playing Among Us with all my 18 kids, so we're just going to be doing that. Yeah. It's pretty fun, though.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Yeah. We're going to get out of here. Thanks for joining us this week, and then we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, same link.
Same nerd time.
Same nerd time.
Same nerd channel.
Yes. What?
Sure, why not? Okay, thanks, everybody.
All right, see you later. Hit us up on a Discord.
Bye.
We're always live there.
Discord. Always.
Later.